What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? Noah Gray here, tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Josh's channel and check out showmefootball.com for more.
What is up, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome back to another video on my channel. My name is Josh Fan of showmefootball.com, covering your Kansas City Chiefs. And the Chiefs just made an absolutely insane trade. We'll react to it all right after this. Ladies and gentlemen of the Chiefs Kingdom, we got a little bit of breaking news from Adam Schefter of ESPN earlier this afternoon. And he says, trade. Chiefs are sending wide receiver Skyy Moore to the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers have been decimated with injuries at wide receiver. Brandon Ayuk is recovering from a knee injury. Juwan Jennings has been dealing with a calf injury. Jordan Watkins has a high ankle sprain. And then lastly, former Chief DeMarcus Robinson was handed a 3-game suspension earlier today. Enter Skyy Moore. And the Kansas City Chiefs end up getting back a 6th-round pick swap in exchange for one of their later 7th-round picks. And my first reaction when I saw the news was, first of all, thank the Lord that Skyy Moore's off my football team. All due respect. But it was time, guys. It was time. I mean, especially after that final, or not the final preseason game, but the last preseason game versus the Seattle Seahawks, you just knew that it was over for Skyy Moore. I mean, he already was kind of on the outside looking in when it came to the roster situation, but then you add in the couple of drops that he had and the muffed kickoff. Yeah, he had the punt return touchdown, but it just doesn't offset everything else. Now, that punt return touchdown may have netted him his next team or his next spot, but ultimately I view this as a win-win for both the Chiefs and the 49ers. I mean, you look at the Niners and they were decimated at wide receiver. Obviously, they needed to make a move, and the Chiefs said, hey, you know, we have Skyy Moore. He's not going to make our team. Former high-round pick in the draft. Now, we all know that when the first thing you hear about a player is former high-round draft pick, it's not necessarily a good thing, and in Skyy Moore's case, it's not a good thing either. He's been a bust, to put it point blank. I mean, this guy has been a failure from day one for the Kansas City Chiefs. We all kind of sat around for a long time and said, when's it going to happen for Skyy Moore? And then it just kind of never did. And I said this with Michael Darcy the other day, but I feel like now more than ever with these young wide receivers that the Chiefs pick up in the draft, you can tell pretty early on whether or not, you know, they're going to be good or whether or not they're going to make an impact, because usually they always have a few splash plays, a few signature games, even in their rookie season, that tell you, hey, this guy is going to be good. He's going to be a player. We just never got that with Skyy Moore, but he now gets a chance to head over to San Francisco and try to revive his career. And honestly, guys, when you look at the different situations across the league, if you could pick one situation for Skyy Moore to go to at least have a chance to revive his career, a good situation, I think the 49ers are pretty high up on that list of teams that, you know, would give him the best shot. I mean, obviously with all the injuries, that's one of the reasons, because honestly, if not for all the injuries, this trade may not have happened. And honestly, you got to think, you know, Skyy Moore better be counting his lucky stars, because I think there's a real chance that come cut down day, you know, the Chiefs would have cut him and no one would have picked him up. But a team as desperate as the 49ers, you know, desperate times call for desperate measures. They're not willing to take on Skyy Moore when maybe typically they wouldn't. And look, Skyy Moore going over to San Francisco, he's got a chance. We'll say that. I mean, I think we all believed coming out of the draft Skyy Moore had talent, right? That was never really the question. But mentally, I think this was the best move for him. It just wasn't working out here anymore. But the 49ers offense with Kyle Shanahan, I mean, it's a very timing-based offense. It's very set up for you. A lot of design plays for a lot of the playmakers in that offense. So, man, this is Skyy Moore's chance. If he's ever going to get it right in the NFL, it's going to be in San Francisco. And we'll see what he does. I'll honestly be interested to see what he does, because, again, I think we all believe that he did have talent. I mean, I was on here talking the other day. I mean, what happened to the guy that had this incredible release package coming out of Eastern Michigan, Western Michigan. Now I'm drawing a blank. One of the Michigan schools. I think it was Western. Yeah, Western Michigan. What happened to that guy that was tearing up secondaries in the MAC conference? I mean, it's just hard to believe that this is the same player that we saw coming out of the draft, but that's got to still be in him. But, you heard him talking the other day after the Seahawks game about how he's just got to approach the game differently and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, man, it's year 4. And if this is stuff you're saying in year 4, this just isn't going to work. But hey, change of scenery, man. That's really the best you can hope for at this point for Skyy Moore, is that a change of scenery will do him well. There was a lot of guys ahead of him on the depth chart. Looking at this from the Chiefs' perspective, though, I mean, Brett Veach, look, he gets an F for the actual draft pick of Skyy Moore, right? I think we've been over that. But to actually get something back for him in a trade, it's a home run. I mean, credit to Veach where it's due. I've been hard on him for things including the Skyy Moore pick. But to get something that I didn't really think he was a tradable asset. I didn't. And again, maybe the injuries are the only reason why Skyy Moore was even tradable in this scenario. But still, to get something back for Skyy Moore, to get a 6th round pick and a pick swap, that's something, man. And look, credit where it's due. That's impressive. I didn't think they could get anything for him. And I've constantly compared Howie Roseman and Brett Veach, mainly because I think Howie Roseman, when he realizes he messed up on a pick or a player, he quickly moves on and corrects it. And I didn't think Veach would do that with Skyy Moore, but hey, he got something back for him, much like Howie Roseman would do, and I applaud him for that. And looking at this also from a Chiefs perspective, if you're Tyquan Thornton, if you're Robert Tonyan, if you're one of the pass catchers that was pushing to make this team, I think you're real happy about this because it all but has solidified your spot. I mean, we all thought those guys were going to make it anyway, but you're subtracting at least one guy from the equation now that makes it easier on cut down day. And hell, if you're someone like Jason Brownlee or Elijah Badger, this is a great sign because if the Chiefs decide to keep 7 with the Rashee Rice suspension looming, one of those guys could sneak onto this roster potentially. So you got to be excited if you're one of them and you have an opportunity now to make this team. The Chiefs getting rid of Skyy Moore has cleared a pathway for those guys. But yeah, I mean, Skyy Moore, the writing was on the wall for him. You just knew it wasn't going to work out here. And the Chiefs get something back for him, for a guy that wasn't going to make their team. And that's always going to be a win in my book when you get some sort of asset back for someone that wasn't even going to be on the team, much like when the Chiefs got Emmanuel Ogbah in exchange for Eric Murray, who wasn't going to make the team. And Ogbah turned out to be a good player. We know Veach has been good later in the draft. He has a higher hit rate later in the draft. So who knows? Maybe that 6th round pick swap turns into something. But yeah, ultimately, guys, it's a win-win for both sides. It's a win for Skyy Moore because, look, you get a landing spot where a landing spot wasn't necessarily guaranteed, if you just got cut outright. So it's a win for all parties. That's really my thoughts on it, though, guys. So I'm going to leave it to you all now to keep this conversation going in the comments. I mean, what are your thoughts on the Skyy Moore trade? Are you surprised? Do you think Skyy Moore will rejuvenate his career in San Francisco? Definitely want to hear from you guys, but that's all I got for this one. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe so more Chiefs fans can find this. Make sure you check out my work on showmefootball.com for more. Check out the Twitter at ShowMeFB. That'll all be in the description as always. That's all I got for this one. I'll see you all in the next one. And as always, go Chiefs.